Pool Perfect Max from Natural Chemistry is the premier weekly maintenance product for all pools. This 3-in-1 technology enhances clarity, maximizes pool program efficiency, and prevents problems. Take every pool care program to the max with Pool Perfect Max.
Lovely. Thank you. Hello. Oh, so I guess we'll just start. I'll just start without rambling on at first. We'll just get right down to business. So this is Talking Pools. It's a show. Thank you for being here,
It is a
everybody.
show.
I'm Andrea. Yeah. And
I'm
that was
Rudy.
Rudy.
I am Rudy. And welcome to our show.
Welcome. Absolutely.
We got good stuff going on.
What is it?
Well, we were talking just a minute before we came on, we were talking about sisters.
Yes.
And you have 3.
A lot of them. Mm-hmm.
I have 1.
Really?
She lives in on a mountain. She's a hermit.
I see.
Very reclusive.
I have a sister who is a hermit as well.
Mine's in North Carolina.
Mine's in North Carolina too.
That's where hermits live.
Yeah,
well, not all people. Not that all
That's
people
where they
in North
go
Carolina
to be hermits.
are hermits, but there's mountains there, and it's close to here. So when they leave here and they want a hermit, I guess it's popular to hermit on a mountain.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. So anyway, and we have Carrie Dibrell with us here from Service Industry News, and she has sisters also.
Hi, Carrie. Yeah, nice to have you.
Hi. I have 3 sisters.
Are any of your sisters estranged?
No.
No.
Boy, that would be so sad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so
none
glad
of mine. Yeah, none of mine are. There. She just lives in the mountain, like I said.
Then why aren't we never allowed to say her name?
It's not that you're never allowed to. It's just nobody ever gets it right, and then I always get questions about it because is that really her name?
You said her name was Gel.
I'm going to jail.
Like Cell.
Yeah. Well, if it's a,
is that seriously
actually
her name? You weren't being sarcastic?
No. Well, it's spelled Jael, jail. That's how we pronounce it. I guess it's there's a Hispanic version pronunciation. You know, I'd never heard it before. I saw another girl in Target with it on her name tag.
What kind of meds was your mom on when she had that one?
It's in the Bible.
Gel?
Yeah.
And God bless America.
She drove a tent stake through the guy's head. Oh boy.
She was where in the Bible?
Yeah.
Gel.
She was a prophet. I mean, I could look
Barabbas.
it up. I actually think I have a Bible around
Barabbas
somewhere.
was in jail. That's
no, that was her name. It means mountain goat too.
It means mountain goat.
Yeah,
this keeps getting better. Well, I guess you lucked out.
Yeah. Oh, well, she picked my name because it was the most popular name of the year that she was going to have me.
And then your other sister, she went for the least popular name the year she had her.
Then that's when she felt like she was going to get creative. And then ever since then, they're all J names after that. So Jacqueline Jolie is the youngest one. So my whole entire life I've been called Andrea.
Andrea.
Yeah.
That might stick.
Well.
And Carrie, does your family have theme names for you and your sisters, or no? Right?
No.
You just all have unique names. Yeah. Same here in my family.
We all have the same middle name.
Oh, do you?
I have a friend that has her and her sister and her mom and her grandmother all share the same middle name. It's the female thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Marie.
Oh.
Theirs is Jane. They all have Jane as a middle name. Yeah.
So it's a good thing that's not Gel's middle name. That could be a bit of a tongue twister.
Well, Jolie's middle name is Jade.
Jane.
Jolie Jade.
That's okay. And what's Gel's middle name?
Alexandra.
I would flip it. Just if it was me.
Talk to my mom. I don't know.
So
it was the 80s. You can't really blame her for much.
No, you can't. So
yes, I have pizza rolls in the oven. Can you take them out?
Pizza rolls are important. It's an important part of podcasting. It is the official food of podcasters. I looked in Podcast Magazine 3 years in a row.
The hell out of them in a second.
So
you could turn that into some advertising revenue if you talked to the company that you were putting in the oven.
Oh, really? Nice.
That's a lot different than when that company tried to put you in the oven, Andrea.
That was your idea. Your idea.
But they
You
ran
had
with
to
it.
have that removed.
I did have to
Didn't
have
they
it
remove
removed.
it?
They ran with it though. They wanted to put Andrea in a giant oven. We can't name the name of the company because
They didn't want to put me in the oven. Rudy wanted to put me in the oven. Let's get that
they didn't not agree to it. So we have Carrie here with us. We're going to talk about her this time. Last time she interviewed us, right? And we spread
Yes.
it out over two, but we're going to talk to her this time because we want to know more about what she does. She has an industry trade publication. Have you read it?
Me? Yes, I have. I'm sorry. I was just making sure I
No,
had
I was
my
talking to Carrie. Obviously, she doesn't read it. Come on now.
I was
do.
making sure
read
that I
it.
have my thing up. I don't listen to my own podcast sometimes.
She
so,
doesn't.
you know.
What do you mean sometimes?
I've listened to it a few times.
Yeah. Out of 157 episodes, she's listened to it twice.
No, more than that.
I have to read it. I'm the publisher.
Makes
So,
sense.
It goes with the territory, I would guess.
That's part of the job.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Well, here we go. So tell us, here we go. Haha. Tell us about
Andrea, interrupt us. Take a drink.
service industry news. I'm
I
going to
was going to
start,
ask
Rudy.
her a question directly about service industry news, and you just cut me off as
Well, don't you
usual.
think that we should know about it first before you ask her?
No, because my question was going to be is when she purchased service industry news.
That's a
which
good
starts
question.
at the very beginning of her service industry news.
Then you know
strong-
what? How about this? I'm going to grab my pizza rolls. Ask your question.
Carrie,
Yes.
when did you purchase service industry news, and what made you decide to purchase a pool industry newspaper?
I purchased it in 2012. Let's see, I had been working for the previous owner, who was basically like my father. He was a surrogate dad. His name was David Dickman. He's still alive. And I was working for him and wanted to, well, he wanted to retire. And so we saw this as an easy merge between us. You know, he would retire and I would slowly take over, learn the ropes.
Did you have a background in journalism before? No.
No, not
What
at
did you
all.
do-
My
What did you do
background-
before?
I taught for 20 years. I taught at Saddleback College. I was an economics teacher there.
Oh, okay. So this was
I
a
taught economics.
so not a pool industry background, not a journalism background. This was a big shift for you.
Total shift.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like owning my own business. I like the freedom. And then specific to the industry, I like the people that read the paper. I like that type of person. It's very casual, very laid back, and fun. And I like the interest that our readers have in learning. That they are not, they're not arrogant, you know. They are open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. And I like that.
And you have a very specific niche. Your readers are a very specific. The pool industry is interesting because there's not a lot of people who do everything. Some of us are very specialized, and you do have one of those, I guess, a specialty within a specialty. Could we call it? And your readers are the pool service professionals mostly, correct?
Yes. We almost, 99% of them are the service techs, but we also have builders and people in the health departments, water departments across the country, and then retail stores. There are readers.
And I used to get service industry news first in retail before anywhere else, but it was in retail when I would receive it. And I remember one of the first things I'd always do is when I'd get it is flip through the pages, find the horror file.
Yes. That's
Then
the
go
most
back.
popular column.
Then I'd go back and then read.
Yeah.
But the very first thing, we got to see what's going on in the horror file.
Yeah.
That is so cool because
You can still send those.
the horror. I know they're still there.
We
I
need
still
those.
look for them. I
Yeah.
had one. I had
For
one
your
in one
listeners,
a few
for
years
your
ago.
listeners, plug
Yes,
that.
you
How do
heard
they
it
send it?
here. If you got
Email it.
if you got some scary looking something that you see in somebody's backyard and it happens to be attached to or for the pool, take a snapshot of that and send it to Carrie at Service Industry News. And her email is
info@serviceindustrynews.net.
there you go. So send her your horror files. We want to see it. I want to see it because that's
Yeah,
still my
those are
favorite.
fun.
That's still it's. I'm not going to say it's my favorite part, but it's still the thing I go for first.
I like
flip
to try to
through.
label the spaghetti sets, the spaghetti equipment pads.
I got to do one a few years ago. It was from my travels. I was traveling through Georgia. This is doing CPO classes, and I was heading down the road. And I think Andrea, you saw this photo too because I've shown it. I think I showed it to you. But I was traveling down the road, and I happened to see out of the corner of my eye a pool fence that was covered in barbed wire, and the sign looked like it had bullet holes in it. And I went over to the fence itself. It was the gate that was covered. It was 2 brick walls, and it had the gate, and the gate
I think I do
had
remember
bars
this.
and it had barbed wire around it. And I stopped and I had to take the photo of it. And I happened to be doing a class at the health department in that same town. And when I was there, I was talking with the health official. I was like, oh man, I just seen this thing. I just drove past. And he goes, well, what's going on? And I told him, he goes, oh yeah. He goes, that pool is closed specifically because of that. And I said, oh, okay. And he decided he'd share the backstory. So apparently the bars on this gate were 6 inches on center, which meant that it would allow the passage of a 4-inch sphere. And if you're familiar with any of the health department codes, the barrier requirements state that the bars should not allow the passage of a 4-inch sphere. So he said that he told the owner, it was a mom and pop facility, the owner of the facility, that they needed to fix it. Otherwise, he was going to have to close the pool. So he left. He gave him a certain time frame, and he came back, and that's when it was covered in the barbed wire. So that was their idea of fixing it, so you could no longer pass a sphere between the bars. Of course, he closed it. Totally wrong. But the amount of effort somebody had put into weaving barbed wire through this gate, because it doesn't weave easy. It's amazing. But that was my picture I submitted, and yes, you published it. It was when you were still in paper before you went digital. And I was so excited to finally, after reading that newspaper for I don't know how many years, probably at least 25, that I had a picture in the horror file. I was excited.
A lot of people frame them.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. And there is a lot of other good stuff in there as well. There's classifieds, there's education, right?
Yeah.
You have a huge education section.
We are the voice of the pool and spa service technician.
You are.
That means that we need to publish anything that a service tech would need to know to do his business. And so education is the top of our list. We care a lot about that. Our entire editorial calendar is built around publishing topics on technical topics that a service tech would need to know, say fixing a pump or installing a pump, installing a heater, troubleshooting a heater. All of that is education based.
I like it, and I've always enjoyed the articles, and I've found them extremely enlightening, I guess, especially in my younger career. If you get to a point where you think you know everything, then suddenly you're going to find another 50 things that you didn't know, and that's just the way that it goes, because nobody can ever possibly know everything. And even if it's just getting a different take on something that you do,
Exactly.
I mean, your newspaper encourages people to be open-minded. I think that's the feel that I get from it. It's not like, hey, you know what? I know you do it this way. We're not saying your way is wrong, but look at this, because here's a different way to do it. And maybe you might find something that you like better. I mean, as well as the folks for the stuff for the folks that are just coming in. But I think you have something for everybody, no matter how long they've been swinging a pole.
That is our aim, definitely. But we break down the paper in in two sections. So the first part of the paper is devoted to news. Anything that you're back from your route and it's whatever time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, and you want to know what possibly could be relevant to you in the pool industry and what happened today. The stories that we publish will hopefully answer that question. What went on today in the pool industry on a newsy level? So that takes up the majority of the front section of the paper. Then the back section of the paper, like you said, includes the editorial, so that the topics, the technical topics that we have a calendar for that. Every issue is absolutely devoted to a certain topic that our advertisers are aware of beforehand. So, for example, the next issue that we're going to be publishing for November 1st will be on the specialty chemicals of the industry.
That's your baby then.
Yeah.
Okay.
The chemicals that are available to sanitize or disinfect or remove stains or what have you.
That's such a great topic.
Focus. Yeah.
That is
That's
such a
my
great
favorite.
and it's timely, I think.
It's my
Yes.
favorite stuff to deal with. Yeah.
Because
Chemicals, yeah.
we don't know what 2023 is going to bring.
No.
We know what's passed in the past 2 years,
Right.
chemical wise. It's
Yeah.
best to be prepared. And
It
one of the
is.
ways that you can ensure you need less disinfectant is through specialty chemicals. Not that you can go without it, not that you can go with levels below your acceptable ranges, but it won't take as much chlorine to maintain those ranges if you put in something else that gets rid of all the schmutz and gack and gobbledygook before the chlorine gets in.
Sure.
So yeah, very relevant, and it's a good time for it too, because right now I would imagine folks are in the middle of early buys
Yes.
and they'll start receiving that stuff February, March, April-ish, depending on where they're at. And this way they'll have it on hand heading into the season, whether they're year round or opening, I would think.
Yeah.
So good time, Ming.
Mhm.
How do people subscribe to you? And
Well-
and like, what's your website? Where can people find you?
Okay, the website is www.serviceindustrynews.net, and it is available to anybody, and it's completely free.
Oh, that's nice.
We are online. The paper is emailed to all of our readers twice a month. We're the only publication to publish as often as we do. And that really goes a long way to get people the news they need. So it's available for free on our website, or when you sign up, you can get it emailed to you every issue.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So you can just have it sent right to you.
That's right.
How did the shift to digital go? How well received was that?
Well, the timing of it was perfect. COVID was the impetus for putting us 100% digital. Before we were only online, we were both. We were online and still in print. And so the transition wasn't as horrible as it could have been to move between the two. Or horrible might not be the best word. Different. So when we finally made the move to just be digital, the reaction from the industry was pretty welcoming, because everybody needs the information that they need on their phone when they're out on the field. They're in the field, they're working on a machine, they're working on some sort of repair, and now they can access the paper right there. So for that type of purpose, it went over really well. Advertisers absolutely love it, because their message is available to readers forever. I mean, it's timeless. All of our issues are online, available to anybody that wants to access them on that website, on our website, serviceindustrynews.net.
So you can
And
like go back and like search for something that you might have missed or you
Yeah.
wanted to reference back or something like that.
yes, like, so you were the Plico winner. You're
Yeah.
probably you're probably in our archive.
Well,
Uh,
I actually have the print version of that. So
Well, good. You should.
yeah.
So
Did you frame it?
advertisers love it.
It's in a box. I'm going to. I have a whole
Okay.
box of everything that I had from Vegas. So yeah.
Love it. Advertisers love it. It's really a streamlined process for a paper to be online instead of in print. Print's pretty hard because you can't fix it.
True. True.
But there's lots of corrections that can be made to an online publication. And then for advertisers, beyond their ad living for a longer period of time, because when you're in print, it's, today's paper is tomorrow's pet liner. You're going to line the bottom of your rabbit cage with it.
Right.
And those days are over now. So now it becomes part of a service text library. And like going back to the horror file, and the people like to keep the horror file submissions that they sent in. People also like to access the year's worth of publishing that we do, and now they can. And then for the advertisers who are looking for who's reading the paper, where are they, what's the demographic, how often do they look at our ad, when our ad is right next to a story that's, say Legionnaires related, is that a good thing or a bad thing? All of that kind of information is available, and it didn't used to be. So it's
also
a 100% win, in my opinion.
It's a lot easier to share. There's that as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
beyond your regular mailing list, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're tracking
You can track
clicks,
that, right?
yeah, you'll see how many people click on it that aren't subscribers and catching
Well, you
all that
can see in
information. But
Facebook, who shares and stuff
I
like
imagine
that.
it, yeah, but it must go well beyond what your mailing list is, and that's got to appeal to your advertisers as well, because this is here it is, and instead of going at the bottom of the bird cage, now it's just going to get bounced around from employee to employee, and manager to manager, or owner to owner. Say, hey, look at what I seen here. Where is it? Here, I'll just text it to you.
Yes.
So that's
the other
super
thing.
cool.
The individual stories that we publish are available on their own, So you can open up the paper on the website, turn to a page, click on the text, and then it blows up in a Word document, and you can text that to people. You can text it, you can email it. One of the issues that we publish on drowning, we publish a homeowners edition for drowning prevention.
You do. That's right.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And all of that goes straight to homeowners on how to safeguard the pool, which is not available. That kind of information is really not available.
It's like a newspaper within a newspaper.
Exactly.
It is. It's seriously. I remember getting it in the print edition as well. It's very useful.
I have to give a plug to that because that came out of a conversation that we had with an IPSA member. Jason Lehman is his name.
Oh, okay.
He is in Texas, in Keller, I think is where he's located.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And he is responsible for causing us to think about drowning prevention on a different level and bring it to the awareness of service tax as something that they can help prevent, because drowning is 100% preventable. 100%.
And of course, IPSA being one of the sponsors for Tuesdays with Kelly Dan on the Talking Pools podcast, the Tuesday show. So the great organization.
Yeah.
I think I'm a member. Your mom's
My mom's a member. Yep.
You're not.
I am an honorary
slacker.
member.
You're slacker.
I'm a Moochin member.
She is. She shows
I don't get any of the benefits except for their booths at the trade shows.
And whatever cookies.
We are very big fans of trade associations because they support education. And that is a leg up for the rest of the service professionals that are out there. If you have if you've got education behind you and you can safeguard a homeowner's pool, you're in a different breed, because you don't have to do that. To do what a service tech does, they don't have to have the education. They don't have to have the knowledge. They could just
No.
be janitors for water.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable, and these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with a pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleanings faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Pool Magazine is the hottest new publication for the pool and spa industry, featuring up-to-the-minute news on what's happening in the pool world in a fresh new stylized format with our mobile-friendly app. Pool Magazine is the app for keeping your fingers on the pulse of the pool industry. You'll find featured news, editorials, podcasts, videos, and more on the Pool Magazine app. Download on Google Play and the App Store.
Our homeowner's pool, you're in a different breed, because you don't have to do that. To do what a service tech does, they don't have to have the education. They don't have to have the knowledge. They could just be janitors for water. But association members go a leg above and really devote the time and energy needed to make themselves the professionals that they claim to be. So
Yeah.
That is one of the amazing things about the trade associations, because they really are proponents of professionals being perpetual students. And that is so important, because what we started out saying, when you get to the point where nobody will ever know everything, and then on top of it, because there's just so much to know, and then information is changing, and it's not science that's changing, but the technology that scientists use to look at things change, and that provides better data. So there's always something coming at you, and trade associations are really, really good at getting that information out and encouraging education, for sure.
Yeah.
So
Who does most of your writing for you guys?
Our lead writer is Marcelle Dibrell. She is a PhD chemist in organic chemistry, and she's also a sister.
Cool.
She's number 3.
She is awesome, because she's awesome for a lot of reasons, but she helped me out back when we were talking about alum as a means to lower cyanuric acid. And there was a lot of people going back and forth on that. And I did not yet have anything that backed up what I was theorizing. She actually found the article that supported my theory in, of all places, the Russian Journal of Chemistry.
Wow.
So
Very
that's
cool.
Your sister backed me up.
Awesome.
And I appreciate it very, very much, because
Wonderful.
there was some backlash when I first said we could do this.
Well, I'm glad that we were of good use in that
Yes.
area.
You also, I remember too, also when the pandemic first hit, I had both of the Dibrell sisters I know on the phone. We were talking about ways to create sanitizers, right?
Yeah.
That people could use, not just even at a pro level, but at a homeowner level.
Yeah.
Just bouncing ideas, troubleshooting, talking about different things that people could do because there was a sanitizer shortage because
Yeah.
everybody gobbled it all up right after the toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
So we
That's
lost
right.
we lost a lot of things. Yeah.
Yes,
So
we did.
when are you doing a service industry news trade show?
You mean when are we going to put a show on?
Yeah.
We don't have
Ever.
plans
Not
to do that.
ever.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I can't say not ever, but no, we don't have, we are planning on attending.
Well, I've seen
We're
you
gonna-
attend them before, so I just
We're
know
going to go, our next show, we're going to the international show this year.
You're-
So at the moment, we don't have plans for
okay.
that. Although I regularly see the beautiful convention center that is in downtown Honolulu and think to myself, boy, a pool show would be really nice here.
And I'm in favor of that. So
Yeah.
I
Want to
could
do a show in Hawaii?
I could go visit Hawaii for a show.
I do.
Sure. Yeah.
Do a poll and see how many people are interested in doing that, and then sure, I'll set that up.
You heard it here first.
Nice.
I've pissed off half the industry because I got carried to consider a trade show.
We need buy-in from the manufacturers for exhibiting.
I don't really think it's going to be that hard.
Really? To ship that kind of stuff?
I don't think they're going to bring it back with them. I think what you'll see is probably not extravagant booths and such, but maybe smaller scale. They'll leave a lot of product in Hawaii just simply
Like a
because
Key
of the
West show.
expense. They probably hit up local distribution to see who has what and such. It's not, not
All right.
not
Well, let's see what we can
not doable. Is that the? I think So all right, there you go.
It is a really pretty convention center.
All right.
all
Well,
black.
I want in on this because you heard it here first. So
Me too. I've never been to Hawaii.
service industry talking pools trade
We
show.
can sponsor it together.
I like it. What would you say now? And you've asked me this question, so I'm going to turn it around and throw it back at you. What's the biggest challenge that pool service professionals are facing in the industry right now?
Doing shoddy work.
Okay.
I can't tell you how many
I
stories
agree.
written on. It's mostly focused, I guess, towards the builder side of the industry, but just starting a job, not completing, leaving. The last issue that we did a story on this, the builder actually left the state and started his business again in another state, just to repeat the exact same behavior. And
Was it outright theft or
fraud, passing on spas that are not viable, they're broken.
okay? Just taking
and-
advantage of the huge investment trend in home improvement and peddling crap,
Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
Interesting. So I was under
Telling
the,
people I'll be there to fix it and never coming.
I know there were a lot of people who I think probably had the best of intentions, but overspent and didn't buy product and got themselves in a bind where they also got in pretty much the same trouble because eventually you get to a point where it's fraud.
Yeah.
But was that one guy down by you, Andrea, that person, did they do that intentionally? That kid? I guess he wasn't a kid.
What
but
kid? The guy that got. Oh man,
him
yeah,
and
yeah.
his girlfriend, wife.
Amore
Yeah.
pools.
Amore pools.
Yes.
They.
That
Do
was
I-
is that the
I
one you were
don't- I
talking
mean-
about, Carrie?
That's one of the ones. That one is
That was a big one.
That one is a big one. Yeah.
That was a big one, and then also, what was it? I don't want to say the wrong name, so I'm not going to say it. But there was another pool company that came in, and they were supposedly going to fix everybody's stuff from Amore pools, and they did the same exact thing. No, keep that out. Now the these people had the same thing done to them by two companies right in a row. And I don't want to say, I can't remember the name. It started with a P. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
That's
say the wrong
story-
name, but
I
it
think that's
was,
the story we just did.
Did you?
yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
now,
that's my area. The company that I
but did they
don't
out?
work for anymore tried to fix some of Amore pools, so I got to see firsthand. Like, I was amazed. Like, oh my god, the work that they were doing.
And why are these pictures not in the horror file?
You know,
I
it's
might
a
have
really
one.
good question. That's a great
Right?
question. I like
I'm
that
telling
question because it calls to mind what is the purpose of the horror file.
Yeah,
Some readers have had the wrong idea about what it is. You know, are we laughing at the service tech? Are we laughing at the installation? What are we doing with this? And it is intended to call attention to less than great work, but isn't hazardous. You know, we're not going to die from this bad installation. We're just not, we could have used less PVC, or the installation, the equipment pad could have been put on brick instead of into the mud. That kind of thing, where it's not really going to hurt anyone.
these
But
these
to
PVC
use-
lines were crooked. It was a nightmare.
Andrea, interrupt us. Take a drink.
But
I
you've
think they
also
even had like some circulation that wasn't even going to the right place.
You've
Yeah,
also
but
had
you just-
things in there that have been 50 years old, and
Old.
although it's rotted a hole in the side of it, look at it still running. That type
Right.
of stuff too. So it's not,
That's right.
you're right. It's not to laugh. It's just it just is. It's things
It
that are out
just-
there in the field that we
just-
see.
But it never crosses the line to, boy, they're poking fun at something that's actually dangerous, because we don't put anything
No.
in there that would actually result in somebody dying, you know? Like
Which is good.
a bad electrical hookup, or
Right.
the failure to bond something.
Right.
Or a patched pressure vessel or something.
But to your point, sadly, those things are out there too.
Those things are out there. And
that's
we
scary.
for those things we do news stories.
There you go. There you go. So so did that Amore or that other company that starts with the P, did they start out initially with the intention of fraud, or did they just get behind and that's what ended up happening?
The court documents read that the owner, and it was he and his wife,
Yeah.
and they're both doing, he's going to do about 30 years, I think.
Mhm.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he started without malicious intent,
Okay.
but I mean, we could read the stories.
'Cause
Read the story.
they're in the archive.
Yeah.
There, but you know, I'm sure that there is somebody out there that just wants to take advantage of the fact that there have been supply chain issues and look at it as an opportunity to rip people off,
Sure.
which super duper low life scum. But
Sure.
those people are out there too. So that's also news story if when we
Yes.
find them. Yes. So, but they have your email, so we know how to get there.
Pro Pools.
That was the name of the company.
Pro Pools is the name of the company that came in after, and they after Amore Pools, and apparently I'm looking at a Facebook post, but it said they got at least 14 of Amore Pools victims, and they did the same exact thing. So apparently there's 14 people or more than that got victimized twice
By two different
Yes.
companies.
Yes. So basically these people have had holes in their ground and like nothing more for like over 2 years, which is ridiculous.
And these are the people where the stigma that we all see came from. People that do this kind of shit stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, whatever.
We just did a story though, Rudy, on a guy who came in, I think his last name was Felty. He came in, he's a service guy.
Okay.
And it was a woman, a teacher, a disabled teacher. She suffered from the disease where your bones break.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. I don't know the name of
I
it.
forget what they
Yeah.
did. Yeah, me too. But anyway, she had contracted for a pool to be built because she was ailing, and water therapy was, the therapy of choice. And so she had a pool built. Then the builder left, and she went on the news to describe this guy that had just taken off. And a service tech saw the news show and thought, I think I can help. And out of his own pocket, he built the pool.
Wow.
Wow.
That is
So
super
we
nice.
put him in the paper because we
Yeah.
want to support that kind of thing.
He's a hero.
That's absolutely
Definitely.
amazing. Yeah.
I hope you gave him a good page.
I did.
Good. Ask just in case.
Yeah.
So,
No, we are excited about the next year. We're going to have our trade shows. Oh, I can tell you this. We're hosting a symposium at the Southwest Pool and Spa Show.
oh,
That'll be on
Nice.
Friday. I think it's February 13th.
February 13th. Okay.
And I'm really actually hoping you're going to speak. I need to invite you.
Did we ask me yet?
I will invite you.
I was like, I think that counts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We need to ask me. Okay.
You would
sure.
be a very, very great speaker at this symposium. We're going to discuss Legionnaires.
Okay. I can talk on Legionnaires.
What we want to talk about is what needs to be done to make this problem go away. Want to speak there?
We'll have to, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that offline, because we want this to be about you. And in case you hadn't heard, I'm probably going to be at the Western Show in the Legionella area.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, so there you go.
It has.
So,
I'm very hopeful for 2023.
I am as well, because we need it to be better. I think it's going to be a better year because the other manufacturers that have been making product throughout the entirety of the pandemic are, they're past the learning curve.
You know what, Rudy?
Yeah.
For this subject, the pool industry needs to keep its eyes on a product called chloralkali.
Yes.
That's the main ingredient in producing chlorine. And part of the problem with the supply and liquid chlorine for sure, but other forms of chlorine, has been the reduction, if not the removal of that product. And
well, there's been 4 or 5 different force majeures in factories that make that product. And then you reported on the asbestos issue in factories. There's also, now that's liquid chlorine, what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Now there's also an ongoing urea shortage in Europe, which is where we import the urea from, which we use to make cyanuric acid, which we use to make trichlor tablets, which starts this whole snowballing pile of poop. But
yeah, but for supply issues and sanitizers like chlorine, keep your eye on chloralkali.
Okay.
See where that's going.
Very cool. So, Carrie, I want to thank you for being on with us. Definitely.
Thank you for having me. It was
But
fun.
thanks for being here again. For
An
sure.
absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And
It
again,
was
how do
fun.
people find you? How do people find the paper if they've look, if they've not heard of the paper, they live in a hole in the ground. But outside of that, how do they find it?
They go online to serviceindustrynews.net.
There you go. All right.
.net.
Very good. Well, we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rudy.
Oh,
thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, no
absolute
problem.
pleasure.
You
And
guys are a
everybody
lot of fun.
listening, thank you.
Yeah, it's always fun to have you
A
guys
lot
on.
of fun
So,
to talk to you.
Everybody listening, we appreciate you. If you enjoy the program, please share it with a friend. Like it, love it, or just like it. But write a review. Give us a star. Give us 5 stars. Andrea yells at me when I say give us some stars because I'm not specific enough. She wants 5 stars specifically.
well, I mean, nobody wants a
Ask for
1
what you
star.
want.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that even that option existed. So,
Well, let me just say that you can't do like
Somewhere
a 6-star
between
review. Like you
4
can't do
and
a 5-star and then add a 1 star. Like it doesn't work that way. If anybody's thinking about that.
we're not perfect. I'll take, you know what? If you think we're only worth 4 stars, give us 5 anyway.
Well, there you go.
All right. good
Margin of error.
enough. I love it. All right. Everybody be good. Be safe. We'll catch you next
Bye.
time.
Bye. Thank you.